Well, it's Friday, which means we take a look at all things that have been trending on social media this week. And one of the big ones has been Gareth Cliff. Siyabonga Africa from Digital News joins us. Sia, very good afternoon to you. And Gareth Cliff certainly not going down without a fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we woke up over the weekend to the news that he was fired by Mnet from his position as a judge on Idols. And that really got trending over the weekend, in fact, and it went into Monday. And then on Monday, he launched a countersuit for 25 million rands, basically saying that they wrongfully dismissed him and that he wants them to reinstate him as a judge. And that went viral as well, and it trended. I think about 14,000 tweets went out, especially when he announced that Dalimpofu, who's an EFF member, was going to be leading his legal defense.
And he has such a strong following on social media as it is anyway. Definitely.
I mean, whatever he tends to say goes, pretty much viral. And he's basically banked on his social media clout. So, anytime he goes and makes a post online, people tend to retweet it. They tend to be engaged with him. So, yeah, it definitely shows that there are ramifications for the things that we say.
So, but with that, has there been, in the tweets that we've been seeing, has there been a strong support for Gareth Cliff? Because there was quite a backlash in terms of what he said. Then he got fired from Idols. So has there been a shift in the tweets?
Yeah, it's interesting because, initially, everybody was behind the idea that he was being racist in his comments because he said something about freedom of speech with regards to Penny Sparrow. But then when he got fired and then he launched his countersuit, there were people who came rallying to his cause and saying that, yeah, this guy, has a claim. So there has been a shift in perception. But it's also, 50-50 with some people saying Dalimpofu should not be on his legal team, whereas some people saying that he should, he can do whatever he wants. So it varies.
All right. And then another hashtag that we've seen crop up in the week has been the Zuma Must Fall hashtag after that big banner billboard on the side of the building in Cape Town.
Yeah, definitely. That hashtag itself started last year with the Fees Must Fall campaign. They were all offsprings from it. And it gained traction in December when President Jacob Zuma fired the finance minister then, Nhlanhla Nene, replacing him with David van Rooyen, which sent the rand into a tailspin. And, people were, of course, blaming that action on the president, and the hashtag Zuma Must Fall just gained even more momentum. And then this past week, that billboard went up over that apartment block in Cape Town, and it also caused a huge upsurge in conversations on Twitter. It was tweeted out around about 34,000 times, so definitely a huge topic online. But it's attached to a lot of sentiments about the president and the current state of the country.
All right, and then something else that we've seen that's cropped up this week, which is quite interesting, the hip-hop artist Mos Def getting arrested, or according to the Department of Home Affairs, for an immigration-related charge.
Yes, definitely he had outstayed his welcome. I don't think he had his papers in order, him and his family. And that was a big one. It trended all over the world. I think in South Africa itself, we saw about 60,000 plus tweets going out about the whole thing. And Black Twitter rose to the occasion, of course, as they usually do. They tend to make light of a lot of situations like this. And I think the fact that he said that he had a world passport, really didn't help his case because, what is that?
Yeah, that's a whole nother hashtag in itself, world passport.
Yeah, I'm sure. I wish I could have a world passport myself.
I think we all do, actually. And then something else that we've seen come up, which we saw a lot of in recent years, but we haven't seen much of it up until now, which has been the figures on rhino poaching.
Yeah, yesterday the Minister of Environmental Affairs, Edna Molewa, announced that there was a slight dip in rhino poaching over the Christmas period, which is normally when we see a huge upswing in that activity. And it definitely was something that was, positively received. But at the same time, it's not as if it's gone altogether. So, people are still talking about it. It's a hot topic, especially in Southern Africa. People are also lamenting the fact that just because it dipped in South Africa doesn't mean it hasn't dipped in Zimbabwe and Namibia as well, where rhino poaching does take place. So, this is definitely not only just a Southern African topic, it's a global topic, the whole poaching debate.
So we have seen it take a bit of a dip and come back.
Yeah, I think it was about 1,100 or so rhinos were killed only last year compared to previous years, which was slightly more. So, that's not an insignificant number in itself.
Absolutely. Siyabonga Africa from our Digital News at the SABC. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.